Good day, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. So we'll be looking at SURD today. Okay, talking about SURD. All right. I'm going to start by looking at the meaning of SURDs, and then we'll talk about the rules of SURD today. Okay, or in this class. Okay. SURDs are irrational numbers without true values. Okay. When I mean without true values, I mean whose values are decimal in nature. Okay. For example, we have root 2, okay, root 3, root 7, root 11, and so on. Okay, all these are good examples of sorts. All right. So other examples of sorts include your pi, your Euler constant. Okay. All right. So these are good examples of sort. So virtually everything in sort is talking about square root of numbers. Okay, not just numbers. Square root of imperfect squares. So when you take the square root of a number and it gives you a decimal value, the square root of those numbers are good examples of sorts. Okay, so that's just the meaning of sorts. So we are going to move straight to the rules of sorts. Okay, the rules of sorts. Okay, basically we have 5 rules of sorts, and these rules includes one, when you have root x multiplied by root y, it always equals to root x multiplied by y. Okay, which is the same thing as root xy. Okay, so that's the very first rule of sorts. Then rule number 2 is saying that if you have square root of x all over y, it is always equals to square root of x all over square root of y, provided y is not equals to 0. Okay, that's rule number 2. And rule number 3 is saying that if you have square root of x being added to square root of y, it is not equals to root x plus y. All right, that's what rule number 3 is talking about. Rule number 4, of course, is saying that if you have square root of x minus square root of y, it is not equals to square root of x minus y. All right, and then lastly, if you have square root of x multiplied by square root of x, it is always equals to x. That means if two similar sorts are multiplying themselves, it gives you the number inside the root. For example, root 2 times root 2 is going to give you 2. Root 10 times root 10 is going to give you 10, and so on. So all these are the basic rules in sorts.